Okay, perfect. We are live and ready to go.
You get one shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
We call the WCIDA court meeting to order. I'd like a motion to approve the September 23rd, 2025 meeting minutes.
So moved.
All in favor? All in favor? So let's move on to a resolution authorizing approval of micro enterprise loan.
Yeah, I'll make a little introduction of the loan and then I will let the client or the applicant provide a little bit more details. So this is Kidtopia, Ontario. It's located in the town of Ontario and they have just expanded to the town of Marion. They're asking for a loan of $44,442, in which it would provide about 5.5 full-time equivalency jobs in the town of Marion. And so Eric, if you could just give a little bit of explanation of your expansion project, where you are and what you've been planning on doing with this new site.
Sure. Good morning, everybody. Like Katie said, we operate a daycare center in Ontario, New York. And we recently, as of the end of September, were granted a license to operate a daycare within Marion Elementary School. That consists of 2 classrooms, one for before and after school, which will be held in the cafeteria, and then a preschool classroom for 3 and 4-year-olds, which would be held in a dedicated classroom within the building. That classroom has been vacant for some time, so they thought it would be put to good use if we were to use that to meet some of the demands of Marion's, childcare needs. So what I'm looking for is the loan to establish the center, have some payroll, capital, inventory, furniture, and marketing to get us up and running. Like I said, we were granted a license about 3 or so weeks ago, and we have a school age room that's about half full right now. So just by word of mouth, we've gotten some traction, and we're looking to continue that.
Does anyone have any questions at the board level to Eric in regards to this loan application? As you might be aware, we already have a loan with Kidtopia, Ontario. It was for $73,000. I believe it was approved in 2022, and he has been paying on a regular and consistent basis.
I'll just add that the loan review committee went through this application already and was supportive of moving forward.
I have no problem with it.
It's fantastic with the school.
Yeah, and just to let you know, one of the things he did when he applied for the initial loan, he was expecting 25 employees. As of last year, it was 29 employees, so it's a really good boost to employment in our community.
That's great.
No other questions? Motion to approve. Second.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's very cool.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. All right, have a
Thank you,
nice
everybody.
day.
Talk soon.
Yes,
You
we'll
too.
talk about next steps soon.
Okay.
We'll move on to 4 resolution adopting proposed Paris budgets and authorizing the submission to the ABO.
All right, so this is a report that is due to New York State ABO at the end of this week. This is an estimated budget where we identify what was actual from last year, what is estimated from this year, and then having proposed for the next few years. This has been, how we looked at this is we pretty much kept it consistent and with just some minor increases throughout the next few years. I guess the only anomaly I can just highlight here is we have other operating revenue that was from an old loan that where somebody was trying to sell the property. We got the proceeds from that because they did not pay off their loan, and there was a lien on the property. So that is listed here, and that's probably the most outstanding. Brian does mention that we have more detailed operating budget that we will be presenting to you in a month or two.
Questions? questions on this? Can I get a motion to approve it?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Yes, we are good to see.
And next we'll go to the fiscal officer update.
We have our bank balances here, they're pretty consistent, the budgets versus actuals. This month, we haven't really seen a lot of activity, with, WEDC, so, we're doing pretty much where we're at right now. And then with the loan aging report, all of our clients, our borrowers have paid, except for K2.
Any questions on the fiscal officer report? Want to go into executive session?
We don't have to go to executive session for me. But I can provide the board an update on where we're tracking details with K2 and Candidate National Bank, who has initiated a foreclosure. As far as, so there's a tracking mechanism through the legal system that.
No, nobody has that.
We're not, she was asking if we were in executive.
It's okay. We are tracking the details of the foreclosure process and all notified parties. We have made our notice and are preserving our position as the wheels turn on this. It is gonna be a longer time, it'll be a year or so. Before this starts to work through a reconciliation. We're not sure what the owners will be doing. We are tracking things and have done what we need to do to preserve our position and make sure we're making notice to the courts and everybody else about where we are.
Question? I know you said that the bank paid their,
Yeah, we can, it's IDA.
Okay.
But yes.
Move on to project updates, executive director updates.
I'm not sure I have a whole lot of new stuff for you guys. I mean, Mark, I think you're involved in these conversations, but energy. I mean, they're just talking power all over the place, lots of different perspectives. NYSEG and RG&E have proposed their new rate case to the Public Service Commission. There is a lack of, I'll say, capacity within the transmission distribution system for projects all over New York State. The combination of those two factors, not to mention potential for new generation sources, potentially upstate here in Wayne County maybe. So lots of dynamic things going on around energy. I would say, our Fast New York funded project is an attempt for us to handle what we can, which is, the sort of local control stuff, which is the water, wastewater infrastructure. Bigger picture stuff when it comes to utility distribution and lots of interesting dynamics. A company that's owned by a parent company over in Spain, and lots of dynamics around all of that. I don't know if there's anything you want to add for these folks.
Yeah, I will say on behalf of the board, at our last meeting, Board of Supervisors officially made a resolution and sent a letter on behalf of the county opposing the rate increases. I'd actually asked RG and NYSEG for what their anticipated revenue from the increase was and how much of that, because they said it was all gonna, would be used in the county. And I asked them for what that was gonna be used for in the county, and they never gave it to me. So we went forward with the resolution opposing it, and I still haven't gotten them. I understand they're not happy with us, but that's too bad.
Who is?
Because I gotta tell you, a lot of people are gonna be hurt from this. And then overall, just on the,
Case in point, Jim Barbado was on Wham talking to Bob Lonsberry about the Macedon project, the Harbor, is it Harborview?
Harbor Point.
Harbor Point. So I just was wondering, is there anything that this agency can do to or the county can do to help that guy facilitate what he needs?
yeah, I'm familiar with this.
It's the one that's gonna be built by.
I hadn't heard that
I
he
did.
had an issue.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, he's got a big issue. And then
transformer timeline?
he can't get power to that new project. So he's got all that money in the land.
I hadn't heard that, I will follow up with, I'll
That
follow
hasn't
up
been
with them.
brought before the town, no.
For sure was that
He
one?
was- he
It's
was
not the
on
one in
that one
Canandaigua,
too.
right? It's not the one in Canandaigua.
No, it's one in Madison on the canal.
I'll follow up.
Jim Armado was the developer, but there was a couple that came in, you know,
Yeah, they
for the
keep-
pilot.
Yeah, they own the marina.
Yeah.
And that hasn't closed yet, right?
They own the marina.
Well, it's not a
No,
pilot,
it's gonna be separate.
Yeah.
They.
Well, they got the sales tax exemption, but not the pilot, right?
yes.
Correct.
Okay, so we're
Yes.
thinking about the right thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And is there anything that you think maybe we could do that help facilitate
Again, I
these
hadn't heard that
issues?
they specifically were having issues, I've heard
What are they
of them.
trying to do, get power from like the road?
How
And
are
that
the
scares me,
apartments?
cause I'm doing a
Up
new
there,
development in Sodas and I'm already getting issues and it's, yeah.
Well, I think Afrani is also having problems in the development that he built next door to the town hall in Ontario.
Yeah, materials is a big problem too.
So,
Yeah.
A lot of problems.
It's
and I
across the
think
county.
Nick
It really
D'Angelo's
is.
having problems with his on Furnace Road. I think that it's just, cause these developers are gonna go broke. I mean, they have more money in that land with the laterals and the roads and the gutters and all that stuff
Sure.
than most of us will make in our entire lives, so.
In the north side, they're doing a little better, in that they upgraded the substation at Sodas, and they're upgrading one,
Too bad.
I believe,
And here in
Old
Lyons, here in
They've
Lyons.
been working on it for years.
for years, yeah. So the north side, I think, is gonna have a little more capacity than they have.
But this distribution, I mean, they still need generation.
They
Yeah.
need generation.
And, sooner or later, we're gonna figure out that solar doesn't produce power in the winter time.
So I can't remember if I spoke to this group or not, but I was in Syracuse about a month, almost a month ago now for the New York State 2025 nuclear conference. And so yeah, New York State's definitely going nuclear.
So have they, like, they were talking about those mini plants, I saw something about that.
There's talk of minis,
Small modular reactor.
there's talk of maximum. If you were to ask what I think today, Oswego gets the first one. Department of Defense is gonna put one at Fort Drum. If Micron really builds, they might put a modular on site there, and then G'nang. They'll put another one there.
Isn't there enough, well, you're sort of an Oswego County expert, didn't they leave enough land at,
For two.
Yeah.
They can put two more in Oswego if they wanted to, and they can put another one at G'nang. So I think, Mr. Duffy is supportive of nuclear, and like you said to me, so where are they gonna put it in Monroe County, in the middle of Irondequoit? It just isn't gonna happen, right? I mean, it's,
Right.
so I think, at some point, especially if the Xerox complex gets revived.
It's vacant now, I
It's
can
vacant
tell you.
now.
What's the latest and the greatest? They have like a 9-point-something million grant from the state, and the town and the village are separating their mutual interests on it's a 300-acre parcel. And they are gonna be splitting into 50, 20, 20 acre, just acre pieces and selling them. So the money from the state, that 9 million, so much is for splitting the utilities. So they have existing utilities, so that project is way ahead, I think, than a lot of these other ones that we've heard about and talk about.
Right.
Because they have the existing infrastructure, they just need to split it. And, it sounds like the village is gonna have a meeting in December, and, that whole who owns what is gonna be settled, and everything's going forward there. So that's gonna be
Did you say
a very dynamic, what,
No, it's in Webster.
Oh, Webster.
yeah.
Duffy just made a joke, where they're gonna put a nuclear reactor in the middle of Irondequoit. So, that's not
But
gonna
it'll
happen.
draw a lot from this county to Webster.
But I think to your point on the southern, the 31 corridor is very hungry for power. Lyons missed out on some opportunities because there wasn't enough power here to do stuff. And also water and sewer, but we need to, whether it's the ID and the county together, however that works, over the next few years, we need to really be keeping that at the forefront of people's attention. That grid needs to be upgraded, for sure.
So we have good demand.
Yeah,
Just
the issue, nuclear, I'm all for nuclear, but that's gonna take time. Power need is now.
And housing needs.
Yeah. And how we gonna stop it?
And I think we'll see support from the surrounding counties too, because they're having the same trouble. It's not unique to Lake, so I think that's.
certainly not, maybe even more immediate.
Ontario struggle.
We are communicating with utility as best we can, there is some capacity, I'm told, right, we don't know that's a fact, but I'm told there's around 5 megawatts available here in Lyons, there's around 5 megawatts available up in Ontario. A little more constrained as you move east, particularly over in Clyde, in their industrial park. We have shared our business park analysis with them, they know what our priority sites are. Some of the work we're doing even on the water side of this study will help continue to refine what is necessary to get these sites shovel ready, and power is certainly one of those big things. It's a dynamic thing that goes on around here. We're not building any speculative capacity, transmission or distribution for that matter. I think we have to, but we have projections. Everybody knows, there's New York ISO report, there's all sorts of reports out there that highlight effectively load's gonna double in the next 10 to 20 years. We need to be, not just for new business, by the way, for existing business, for existing homeowners. Homes are using more power now than ever. And there's, New York State, NYSERDA, all the other things, they're very focused on battery energy storage now. There's a lot of dynamic things going on around that. But to your point, Dave, these are long-term plays. These are things that don't really come to help, let's say, a decade from now. So what are we doing in the near future? I think the governor's office has said effectively everything's on top of the table, all potential generation is what they're saying. We'll see what happens with the CLCPA, natural gas, all the other things like that. It's the other dynamic in here. There's a law at the state that is governing natural gas use. And I think there needs to be, I think the county, was there a resolution?
Yeah, there was a resolution passed.
Yeah.
On that as well. And that's another dynamic that's.
To lift the ban on natural gas.
Listen to the governor on Sunday or Monday, and she definitely is backtracking for sure.
What else is she
So,
gonna
well, things have changed, and I think, again, you just opened your eyes.
Yeah.
We did
I try not to be sarcastic.
I'm building up in Malone, and my builder keeps calling me, he's like, you gotta get the building permitted, because if you don't do it this year, you're gonna be forced to use electric.
Yeah, all it,
And I
all
want all
changes
gas
December
up there, so
31st.
it's like this big mad rush.
Yep.
And he's like, no matter what happens, you need to get it in now, because you just don't wanna keep it.
You could get natural gas there,
No, I'll be in propane.
so
That-
does
that's
is propane legislated in this whole?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
we
it
can
is?
use, we can use it, so that's his whole push to me, cause he knows what I wanna do, he's like, you need to prep yourself now, because of this legislation coming down, so. And as long as I put it in now, even if I don't start till next year,
Your
it's already,
applications.
yeah.
Dave, did your town
It's
board
interesting.
do it? Because our town board did it as well.
Our town board did that.
Okay, so they said like, rather than just having me sign it, we had every single board member, just because the signatures alone make a difference. So,
Yeah, our board will look at it on November 6th.
I can defer other updates to other agencies if you want to just keep.
Okay. Along, like, the third thing we passed at the last board of supervisors meeting was to ask for more home rule control of the climate law that's going forward, and to allow towns to set their own pace, and counties to set their own pace going forward. I don't think that'll happen, but that's what the board did.
yeah, we do.
Okay, that's it, Tim? Okay, no other business, the next WEDC meeting is on Wednesday the 12th. If you're gonna have a problem making that meeting, like, Katie, no.
Right, yeah, so it's on Wednesday next month and it's earlier due to the Thanksgiving schedule, and it's on a Wednesday because November 11th is Veterans Day. So maybe we'll send out an email after this meeting to see who can make it, just to see if we have quorum. If we don't have quorum, we can reschedule it for another day if that's possible for that one. And then the following meeting is also an earlier meeting too, which is December 9th. But that is on Tuesday, so it's relatively on the same day, but I know Wednesday's a little odd.
Okay, they've got a motion to adjourn.
Somebody,
Move on to IDA, call to order. Meeting, and I'd like a motion to approve the September 23rd, 2025 meeting minutes.
second,
In favor? We'll have the initial project resolution for New York solar farms.
Yes, so this, you might recognize this application because we did receive an application similar to this in 2023. It was approved, back then as well, but, the owners did not move forward and, so now it's a same project, new owners and updated project cost. So this is in the town of Arcadia. It's a solar project, 5 megawatts. So this would be the initial resolution for this pilot project.
Questions? Any motion to approve?
So moved.
All in favor?
I'll second it.
A resolution adopting proposed budgets, in comparison of rising same case before.
Yes, so this is our budget from for Paris due at the end of this week. Similar to last year's budget and this year's budget, just with some incremental increases. Yeah, so that's pretty much it with IDA.
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, fiscal officer,
Yes, fiscal officer's report, I guess major update was with the account balances. That CD that ended at the end of September is now into a new account. And so we had it matured, we have the increase of the funding amount, and now we do have a new account for the new CD, which will end in March of next year. And then budget versus actuals, there's nothing really big to discuss here. We are waiting on the 112 West Miller Street pilot project. It hasn't closed yet. They just need some additional approvals from state and federal government in order for them to then close the pilot. The hopes was end of November, but it might be a little bit later than that due to schedules.
questions, fiscal officer report?
I'll add all the pilot payments have been received. I have checks here ready to go in the mail, so we'll be distributing pilot revenue to taxing jurisdictions in the next couple days.
Any project updates? Adjourn.
Well, are there any particular questions? Jump to Mike. Other than what I've said. We have our real estate breakfast tomorrow morning. If folks are available to attend, it's out at the Ontario Country Club, starting at 8:30. We'll be discussing the things we're discussing here this morning, frankly, housing. We'll give a little update on our brownfield program as well. And we'll look to facilitate a discussion around power. So we're really interested in hearing from this group of folks on what they're experiencing in the real world and having that, I don't want to call it anecdotal, but that what's happening on the ground today, what bottlenecks or issues are folks experiencing. So we're not, in other words, we're gonna share some information with them, but also opening the door to get some feedback from folks tomorrow morning on issues they're experiencing and helping facilitate that kind of community engagement discussion.
Do you know how long it's gonna run?
We'll probably be there for about an hour and a half, but we won't talk the whole time for sure. It's breakfast, so show up, grab a cup of coffee, mingle with folks. We're there to have some one-on-one time or one-on-three time, if you will, and then take a little of their morning and talk at them, but also help, provide an opportunity for feedback or discussion, and then open the door to discussion around power issues, what's happening.
How's the turnout this year?
Where are we, 40?
47 registrations?
That's great. It ticks up a little every year. I think that people appreciate the opportunity to come and get a nice update. Pretty good attendance, happy with that.
New business?
IDA meeting will be on that Wednesday the 12th also. Have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Favor, so let's move on to Civic Facility Development Corporation, call the meeting to order. And a motion to approve April 22nd, 2025 meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Resolution adopting proposed DOA CARES budget and authorizing submission to ABL.
These are similar to the other two budgets, with just some minor increases. Brian, do you wanna give a little update on that funding source for?
Yeah, so, Rochester Regional Health Planning energy efficiency improvement projects at 5 facilities scattered around the region, if you will, some actually up in Watertown. So, you know, the project here in Wayne County is a pretty small part of their overall capital improvement plan. But in lieu of issuing a bond in each county to fund each county's project, they're funding it through one civic facility corp out in Genesee County, and will be pro rata distributing the agency fee associated with each county's project. So that'll provide the civic facility corp with about $50,000 in revenue. I think they're hoping to close pretty soon. We'll see, there's some steps to take, public notifications that go out. The county took its first step by posting a notice of a public hearing on the website. There'll be a resolution from the county board of supervisors on this next month.
And so that is indicated in the budget here as other non-operating revenue.
Any questions? Okay, the motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
I do have one question, Katie. In 2024, it says in our minutes that the loan rate was 4% for the CFDC.
Yes,
Is it,
it's
do you
still
know-
4%.
It's 4%?
Yep.
Thanks.
The next resolution to establish a threshold for asset capitalization for financial reporting purposes.
We approved this with the IDA in April, because CFDC already had 2,500. And so we're just trying to make it consistent throughout all 3 boards, so when we do our asset capitalization, we'll have it consistent with the 3 agencies.
Motion to approve. All in favor?
With the fiscal officer updates, you know, the main addition here is with the money market account with L&D. We added around $50,000 at the beginning of the second quarter, and so that is just in there as you know, is showing our investment with the money market for this year. But that is a new account as of this year.
Any questions on fiscal officer report? Now, executive director update. Yeah.
Nothing other than what I just gave you guys on the bond issuance for the hospital project. And some discussion this morning around Civic Facility Corporation and its role to play in the proliferation of healthcare projects, if you will. I know there's a lot of dynamic things going on around that as well. The Civic Facility Corporation can issue bonds to help capitalize projects on behalf of, say, not-for-profit civic facilities. So it's a resource and a tool to play. There's an opportunity to do so. Otherwise, I don't have anything else.
Next CFDC meeting will be on December 9th. Before we adjourn, is there a wish to go into the executive session?
Yes. I'm looking around, biggest thing,
I'm not sure,
Do-
Dave, was it executive session for CFDC, does it matter?
no,
No,
Oh, did we,
we can adjourn, then we can get on it.
okay,
So, I'll do a motion to adjourn.
so,
Second.
Now, let's discuss going into executive session.
What agency are you, is going into executive? You have to be in
Second.
All in favor?